speaking of maybe an issue, but probably not. Gervonta Davis, per Mike Coppinger and sources, is set to fight Yuriorkis Gamboa December 28th on Showtime. Badou Jack will meet John Pascal as the co-main event. Atlanta is the front runner to host the event. I love that idea because that's where Tank lives. And New York City is also in play. This will be for some vacant bullshit regular title that no one cares about. This one, I guess I have to say that, whatever. Though, I'll be honest, I don't think this matchup is all that bad. I know I'm going to get hate for that. I've seen worse. And I do think the Badou Jack, John Pascal fight makes complete sense. Both guys lost, or at least one lost to Marcus Brown. The other did beat Marcus Brown. Why not? Make that fight. The winner can potentially, especially if it's John Pascal, he could fight anyone. So maybe John Pascal back having a career renaissance and could be fighting Bivol or Bivol again, or Better Beeve or anyone else, or Beterbiev. My bad. I'm working on it. Failing epically. But Gamboa Davis is just it's an introduction fight to the weight class. If he's continuing to fight bad opposition after this, then bring out the pitchforks. But for this one fight, I don't feel like it's as big of a deal as, let's say, like the Nunes fight or the other one that I can't remember. This is a much better matchup than those. And I'll be honest, I think it might sound crazy, but like I even like this fight, especially if him just going up to 135. I like this more than a Leo Santa Cruz fight, which we're going to talk about soon, because I'd rather have Leo stay at 126 and fight Gary Russell. Like I don't want to see a Gervonta Leo fight. That does nothing for me. I'd rather Gervonta go on his own path away from the Leo Santa Cruz's and Gary Russells of the world. It makes no sense to me at this point in time. But guys, thoughts on Gervonta Davis versus Gamboa on Showtime? Badou Jack, John Pascal, co-main event.
I love Gervonta because he only fights the best. For a young champion, he doesn't care. He'll fight anyone. No, look, I mean, it is what it is. It's a name. It's Gamboa. I like Gamboa. I like Tank. I don't know how much Gamboa's got left in the tank, but I don't hate the fight. For a new weight class, it's a fine introduction fight to the weight class, so I'm okay with it.
Okay and fine. I feel like I would give me the two choice words and adjectives we use about this matchup. It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. Rob?
It's all right.
Yep. Yep.
He went with the third option.
I think some of it just stems from we keep getting told he's a pay-per-view star. He's a star. He's a star. And it's like, well, by this point, didn't Floyd already have like marquee names on his...
Oh, marquee names.
Like,
yeah, he did.
Good level wins. Like,
absolutely.
People
no, absolutely. Now, are you talking about age or just like number of fights? Because that's like where we get into like the weird situation. Because Gervonta is so young relative to the amount of fights he has.
But so was Floyd. I mean, Floyd beat Gennaro Hernandez when he was like 21, 22. He beat Angel Manfredi.
No, you're right. Okay, no, you're right. You're right. I thought he was a little bit older than that. I thought he was more like 23, 24 when he fought those guys. No, you're right. You're right.
Matt's taking his word for it that's the right age at the right time.
No, I believe he's right about that. Gary, first off, was around then. I wasn't. Like,
I wasn't even born. Oh, you were born.
I was born.
Like
hop
three,
off.
But you were born.
Hop off. Don't relax, buddy.
Oh yeah, Gary. Whatever you do, don't make Matt actually 26 or 7 or something. Damn.
Older than I am. I'm digressing. To your point, I definitely agree that I think the hate that maybe this matchup is getting, or just Gervonta period, is a compounding issue. People have been upset with Gervonta Davis for a while now, and combine that with the rhetoric from Leonard Ellaby, Floyd Mayweather himself, about his career. It's clearly not matching up with what we're seeing in the record right now and what you're telling us. So something's not right here. Either fix your record or fix the rhetoric, right? If the rhetoric changes to, you know what, Gervonta, we're building him back up. You know, he's had some off performances here and there. He's been in and out of training camp. We're trying to get him back on path here. Then I think a lot of people sort of stop complaining as much, or at least a good percentage. Same if they stop the whole, he's the next pay-per-view star. If they stop that rhetoric, I think the criticism dies down a bit. Because then we don't expect him to do the things that he's telling us he's doing.
Yeah.
If you're telling us you're a pay-per-view star, that you're the next Floyd Mayweather, we're expecting to fight Floyd Mayweather level competition and to have Floyd Mayweather numbers. Both things aren't true.
Floyd was 21 when he fought Gennaro Hernandez and 21 when he fought Angel Manfredi.
Deuces.
Gary's so happy he's right there. Look at him.
Yeah, he's so good with his research. Yeah, exactly. It's just how I feel, Matt. Because at the minute it's, yeah, but who's he fighting? Yeah, but who's he fighting? He's bringing up a guy from the division below. He's bringing up a guy from the division. He's getting all that, and but he's a pay-per-view star. He's a star, but he's a pay-per-view. And it's like, so when is he going to be a pay-per-view star? Which we possibly will get into in a minute, but. That to me is what it is. I don't particularly hate it. Yeah, he's probably getting a bunch of, I think, by the time the fight comes around, because is it slated for, what was it, December 28th or something like that? Gamboa will be 38 then. So now it's, but, maybe it's someone in the weight category, but now it's a 38-year-old.
That would be the thing.
Fading. I mean, this could be quite a horrible knockout, probably, but...
People use that criticism against like Vajic with the Adonis Stevenson fight, which I think is just completely out of pocket. But digressing from that, I think similar situation, though not entirely 1-to-1. Obviously, Ryan Garcia, a guy who had a lot of rhetoric that was around him of being the next Golden Boy, right, the next Canelo, and he had some bad performances, right. The rhetoric has changed completely around him. And now he's fighting a guy named Duno. Literally, like, Duno. I don't know. Duno, okay, who I think, honestly speaking, all you guys in the chat, I doubt most of you have watched him fight. Just being honest. Like, I've watched one of his fights, okay? But that fight is getting high praise. Why? Because the rhetoric around Ryan Garcia isn't that he's the next big thing. It's that, he's not even the best guy, best prospect in our stable. We don't know how good he is. Okay, then maybe this fight is more competitive now. Like the psychological framing it does to the consumer is massive. And it's crazy that these promoters that have been in the game for decades literally don't understand that.
Did Eric Gomez play a blinder and make out Ryan scared of this guy? That this guy is a beast?
In a way to promote the fight and make it sound competitive.
And now Ryan Garcia's co-main event on Canelo Kovalev.
And look, I don't think he did that on purpose, but I think it is a byproduct of that framing.
Yeah, by now people think, they do know. I think he's legit. He's legit.
Absolutely.
He's going to take this young kid, this young protege's fucking...
Absolutely.
And just, we thought Braulio was going to do it, but he didn't.
Oh, man, Braulio, what up?
Yeah.
Where is he at? But digressing, Gervonta Davis has been linked, obviously, post this fight to fight Leo Santa Cruz and actually go back down to 130 and fight him there.
For his old belt.
Now, and on pay-per-view. That's also
on pay-per-view.
That's a pay-per-view main event. I think every single aspect of that story, I hope, is not true. Because it makes no sense. Like, you're moving him up to 135 to build him towards a Lomachenko super fight. Do that. Don't go back down to 130 and then fight Leo Santa Cruz for a title that you just vacated. It reminds me, not, again, 1-to-1 analog, but in similar ways to when Peter Quillen vacated his belt, right? And then Andy Lee and, who was it? Fought for the title. I think it was Matt Korobov, right? Gary? Right, but Andy Lee picked up the belt, right? That was vacant, and all of a sudden,
yes,
and then Peter Quillen ended up fighting Andy Lee for the title that he just vacated, and it was this big, like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, this made no sense. And they had a great fight. I think it ended up being a draw. I could be wrong about that, but it's one of those fights where it was like, yeah, it was a great fight, but this whole unnecessary path to get here was just forced and not needed. And I feel like, again, Gervonta and Leo Santa Cruz, if they wanted to make that fight, they should have made it a year ago. But they waited a year. Gervonta's moving up in weight class. Leo's moving up in a weight class. Both guys fighting for vacant regular belts, it seems. No, sorry. Canseal's not being elevated. He's being stayed in status quo of just a regular champion. Leo's fighting for the super belt when never fighting in the weight class. And then we're going to have this matchup of Gervonta going back down in 130. It makes no fucking sense. When you could just have Gervonta fight Gamboa, maybe fight a Miguel Bertrand. Who else would be sort of perennial contenders and veterans at 135? Depending about what happens with Tricome. If he loses against Tifon Lopez, Richard Comey, Gervonta Davis, that would be an amazing fight. I think everyone would be happy with. And that would be fights that get you towards a Lomachenko fight. And those are all legacy-building fights as well in some way. But no, you're going to do this half-ass, move up to 135, but go back down to 130, fight Leo on a pay-per-view. No one's asking for on pay-per-view. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, he was actually asked, will that be at 135, 130? He said, I've got no problem going back down. Whatever's more comfortable for Leo, I'll do it. So
he doesn't have any problems. How many times has he missed on the first attempt at making 35? He lost his belt
30.
2 years ago at trying to make 30. Like, once he goes up to 35, there's no going back. He struggles to make 30 anyway. Once he sees that, look, 35, I don't have to kill myself, he ain't going back down to 30. It's not like he's comfortably makes 30. Like, we've been talking about him leaving the division for a long time now. He's not going back. That's old nonsensical talk. He could have fought Gary Russell or Santa Cruz if he would have called him out. But he didn't want to fight those guys, or they didn't want it for him. So he's not. Now that he left that weight class, he's going to go fight those guys now? It's not going to happen. And there's just too much money. Like, there are so many. And, like, we think of Tank as being a lot older, but he's not that much older than Teofimo Lopez or Hector Tanahara or any of those superstar prospects at 135. So he'll stay there, and there'll be a ton of big fights for him.
Joe Cordina. If you're going to mention prospects that really shouldn't be called superstar prospects, throw in Joe Cordina in there as well, because he's a better prospect than Hector Tanahara. Get your fucking facts straight.
Broaden those horizons, Gary. Just say other people not from Texas.
But anyway,
I said Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, you did.
I think we're all in agreement here that a Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz fight back at 130 makes no sense, and on pay-per-view makes even less sense. And it's a slap in the face to consumers and fans.
He's a star.
And at that time, I guess Santa Cruz is leaving, because I always wanted to see Figueroa fight Santa Cruz. Like, that would be like fight of the year, 1,000 punches from each guy. Like, and now I guess that's not going to happen because,
Leo's moving up.
Yeah, moving up.
Moving on.